Hey everybody, it's Adria. I'm here. It's a pretty sunny day here in Vermont. Oh, this is So You Want to Write a Novel, and we're here. And there goes Sky, and Fig's gonna lay next to him on the floor. Fig likes to kind of be close to me. He's my protector. Doesn't he look beautiful in the sun there? Oh my God, Fig. And Sky in his little perch. Okay, so we're going to start today with a confession. All great stories have lots of secrets and lies and confessions. And as the characters get to know themselves, they confess to each other, confessing maybe their dreams or their hopes or actual misconceptions or clarifying who they are. I call all those things confessions. And I'm confessing that I tried to film these all on Monday. Well, I started to. I did like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And by Wednesday, it was bad. And I did, my method is that I want this to feel like a first draft. Do you remember how my promise, or not promise, well, it is a promise, but at the beginning, in the very first, what was that? The very first episode. I don't know why that word is so hard for me. Episode, I said fresh first draft. We always want to have a fresh first draft. And then I broke my own rule. I broke my promise. This is exactly how story works though. So it's a beautiful thing. So my promise was it was going to be a first draft. And I didn't realize at the time that I also meant that I'm going to do these videos as a first draft. That was something that I sort of got when I was explaining the whole thing to Ann Jeanette and talking through with her. And that's how story works. That's how life works. We're talking through who we are and what we're doing, and we realize, boom, that's what I'm doing. So no wonder these things are a little rough. Hence the term rough draft. Yes. So I tried to not do that by recording ahead and not going with the flow, and I fell really short. I did post it, or actually Cass did, thank you Cass, up on the website and on the YouTube channel, but I'm not going to put it here in the Instagrammy thing. And I stopped putting these on Facebook. I don't like having multiple things all over the place. I like to give everything fresh. Fresh is important to me. I actually even have a novel called Fresh. And I like fresh food, and I like fresh ideas, and I like fresh flowers. So anyway, so I digress. Anyway, so that's my confession. I won't do it anymore. I will record these fresh. And I'll try. I sometimes take a couple takes because I think you guys have probably noticed by now I can go a little off topic because my brain starts to I just start to have all these ideas come. And it's kind of interesting because that is exactly how a first draft works. And I get that question a lot when I'm teaching, like, what do I do with all these ideas? I have too many ideas. There's too many things I want to write about. There's too many things. And I just say, with ideas, for one, write down as much as you can, for sure, absolutely, in your journal or your notebook that you're using for this novel writing series. I keep an idea book. I also have learned over time that good ideas don't go away. They stick around. So I don't feel as beholden to keep track of them. They come back. Kind of like secrets and lies. But I do think you should write them down. And no idea is a bad idea. It's just some have more, some are more interesting to you, so they stick with you longer. And I think that's wonderful. So anyway, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today, other than what we've just talked about, which are two really pretty important things that we have shared together today. Thank you for listening to my confession, and I do apologize to all of us. Yeah, I kind of love it though, I really do. I'm not somebody who, and I hope you aren't either, that's too hard on themselves or that thinks that mistakes are bad because they're not, they're just clarification. So I know now that I've got to film these every day, and gee, poor me. I love doing this. I love it. It's hard, but I love it. Okay, so I want to talk today a little bit more on, we're going to layer things a little bit here. So remember how we talked about making sure we know what's most important to our main character. That's important. Redundant, and I'm being redundant. So what's most important to our main character? So we know for Grace Chadwick, for instance, love is going to be our central, most important thing, aka our theme. So, and we also know that if love is our theme, then we have to do the direct opposite to create an arc of story, right? So love, and then there's lots of opposites to love. That could be betrayal, that could be unrequited, that could be fear, that could be loss. There could be lots of things. I mean, Grace could have had somebody that died when she was young and she never recovered. Maybe, and it could have been a lover, but it also could have it could have been a child. It could have been any number of things that make her afraid to love, or not, or even more interestingly, not know how to love. That's, to me, that would be very interesting, to not know how to love. I'm pretty good at that, but I always have something to learn, and it would be an interesting conversation to have with myself as a writer. That's what we kind of do, unless you're writing ensemble, which would be great. Writing is something that I know I'm going slightly astray here, but it is important. That's why I kind of like that we're doing this together, so it doesn't feel like we're writing alone. I like sharing my ideas as they come up. Anyway, so it could be betrayal. It could be that she got cheated on. Or it could have been a business deal that went awry, and she just decided, she turned into somebody that was super bitter and upset. It could be that she wanted the love of her father or mother and she never got it, and so she's just doesn't understand nurturing. There's so many ways that we can explore love, and the same thing goes for say that your main character and or you, because remember, this novel might just be you exploring yourself, which I would love, because that's really what we're doing anyway. But justice is another good one. Freedom is another good one. And so the opposite of justice would be unjust, or someone breaking laws, and those laws can be natural laws, or they can just be what one considers right and wrong. I've certainly had somebody pop to mind that is a really discerning, judgy type person, which is not a bad thing. It just, they have the judge archetype in them, and so justice is very important for them. Or lawyer, they're very argumentative and or debate worthy, and they know the topic, and they know they know it. And I'm not somebody that's really great at that, really. I've pretended to be, but it doesn't really interest me. And then there's freedom. So then there would be, a bondage was the first word that came to mind, or chained, or maybe they're just stuck in a marriage, or they're stuck in a job, and freedom is something that's really important. Another good theme is solitude. That's something we're all kind of sharing now. And it's interesting because you would think that people feel alone, but if you're in quarantine with a lot of other people, aka your family or your partner or whatever, you might not be getting any time alone. So solitude is taking on this new interesting place in your life. Oh, I wonder if that might be happening for people. There's so many good stories about solitude that are in really good. I'll put some up on I made us a little bookshop. I'll post this. Sorry, I made a little bookshop of like books that I'm referencing and books that I've said. So I put The Lost Painting up there. I put books by Don Moss up there. I put my book up there. I put. Thank you for letting me. I put. I'm gonna put The Martian, which is I may have put it up there. It's a really favorite of mine. It's a really good novel, and it was made into a film with Matt Damon. I'm kind of going along here. So I probably should wrap up. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. I hope you're still with me. Anyway, I'll put the link in the bio for bookshop.org/shop/Adria. And I'll continue to put books that I recommend up there, or books that I reference here. But the homework today, or the task for today, is to think about that main theme that you have. And I am going to take up a little more time and give you a few more. Truth is another big theme. Trust is another big theme. Commitment is a theme, because I thought of all these as I was preparing mentally for this. Another big theme is fear. Another big theme is bravery. I think you're kind of getting this sense of it. These are, they're really the underlying everything of a person, of our main character. So it's more than a trait. It's more than a belief. It's like the essence. It's the beingness of the main character that we really want to hone in on, define. And it's okay that they might have more than one of these, no doubt about it. But when we write a novel, we really are kind of focusing in on that one thing, and then we pull others as we need to make more sense of that main theme. It really is where we're able to find the emotion of our story, which is what I've talked about a lot and will continue to talk about, because what connects us people to people and writer to reader is that emotional connection. It's the feelings that we share and the connection that we seek. And we really don't care if it's words on a page, or posts on a social media, or if it's actual in-person life. I don't think our minds or our hearts, our souls really care where that connection comes from. It's just that it exists. That's what we seek. And so when we're creating story and we're creating a life, we want to emphasize what really matters and what's important to us, which are these overlying ways of being or themes. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. We're going to go take a hike. It's actually pretty cold here in Vermont, but we're going to take a hike, and I take a hike when it's cold, believe me. I just bundle up. I'm going to take off this pretty pink sweater that I put on for you, and put on some hiking clothes. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So happy you're here.